You've been a bomb and explosive specialist for a long time, and you've been in a lot of different situations that were very crucial. Is there an actual situation that you can recall that was difficult for you?
That's the kind of fear you have.
Police psychologist Carol Logan helps officers like Mike Sand and Larry Clayton come to grips with trauma. Her technique? Something called eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, or EMDR.
Okay. What is the type of situation you'd like to work on today that may have been troublesome for you?
I think watching one of the people that works for me or with me go into a really risky situation.
Okay.
Carol is using a technique developed by psychologist Francine Shapiro.
The whole field of neurobiology has not matured enough to be able to explain the reasons for positive effects in any form of psychotherapy.
But there are educated guesses. Researchers theorize painful experiences literally get stuck on the wrong side of the brain, stored in the part of the brain that makes post-traumatic stress victims feel and react as though they are still in danger.
The person has flashback nightmares, intrusive thoughts, and it's literally the perceptions that were stored at the time of the event. The problem is they're stored in the wrong form of memory.
Shapiro says that EMDR changes that by getting both sides of the brain to communicate. By doing so, painful memories can be processed, assimilated, and stored in the part of the brain that in essence tells us we are no longer in danger.
And that makes the world of difference, because we can remember negative experiences that have happened to us before, but we're not overwhelmed by them, and we're not run by them, and our life isn't defined by them.
What I'd like you to do is to hold that physical feeling in your body, hold that in your mind, and also the sense of fear that you could be maimed. And I'm going to move this ball back and forth in front of your eyes, and just let whatever happens happen.
Okay.
And then just pay attention to what happens in your mind. And whatever happens is fine.
Sure.
And we're going to stop every once in a while and find out what's going on in your mind. Okay?
Right.
All right, we'll start now. You got it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
EMDR seems to jumpstart the brain's memory processing system simply by altering attention from one side to the other.
So the idea is potentially that the stimulation, the bilateral stimulation, is acting like an external pacemaker that's rhythmically allowing the brain to go into sync in order to process information that it wasn't able to do initially.
A wand, a couple of fingers, tapping, or even a light bar is what's used to get the right and left sides of the brain to communicate with one another. Shapiro came up with the technique at Stanford University during the late 1980s.
EMDR has been evaluated by at least 14 controlled studies. And, for instance, the most recent ones with civilian populations suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder like rape or natural disasters, they found that within 3 sessions, 84 to 90% no longer have PTSD.
Now, can you describe and can you put into words the worst feelings that were there? Because we want to get the worst.
Carol so believed in EMDR, she solicited the help of local psychologists Dr. Robert Tinker and Dr. Sandra Wilson to further study the effects of EMDR on police stress and trauma.
Yeah, I need a can of mace before you guys lock it up.
The National Institute of Justice out of Washington, D.C. was very interested in the amount of stress that law enforcement and their families experience. Could EMDR, in fact, help reduce job stress? Because it's sort of like a on-the-front-line trauma job all the time. So we were contracted with the Colorado Springs Police Department and worked with 64 officers, both men and women, who had been in a range of service as a police officer from 1 to 30 years.
What we found in our study is that the officers who had the EMDR treatment as opposed to the traditional stress management treatment had lower ratings on job stress, lower ratings on anger, that is both state and trait anger, fewer symptoms of PTSD, and higher marital satisfaction. And this change, or this difference between the two treatment groups, was sustained in a 6-month follow-up.
It's kind of weird how you start off and you discuss the situations that you believe are causing you stress and how you actually feel them in your body.
Sergeant Bobby Ryan participated in the study.
And as you're going through the EMDR, it's almost instantaneous that the stress within your body is being reduced. And I can remember thinking during one of the sessions that, wow, this is like voodoo or something. This is amazing how quickly this works.
I don't know when she knows when to stop that ball from moving. I just know that I keep watching that thing, and just thoughts are pouring through my mind, and one minute I'm in the flood, and the next minute I'm back on a SWAT call, and the next minute I'm at home in an argument, and the next minute I'm a little kid with my parents.
Okay, so what were you getting that time?
We recovered over 70 explosive devices, some of them fairly dangerous, and some very explosive chemicals. And we had to handle that right all the time. You didn't really relax. It was strange. It was a tough call.
But after this 45-minute session, Larry says his anxiety and tension are gone.
Okay, close your eyes, take a deep breath. Blank it out. No, what was going on for you?
It was just relaxing. I pretty much got rid of the tension. You said hold on to it. It went away.
And Sergeant Sand's haunting memories have also been exercised.
For the first time in 22 years, I let myself grieve for those people that I couldn't help, and let myself actually kind of let go of them. It's rather hard for me to talk about it right now even, but now it just brought a peace where I can finally let them go, and I can drive back up that canyon and not feel guilty about what I couldn't do.
Then we asked them to draw a picture of their worst memory of the war.
EMDR and children. When Alternatives Uncovered continues.